Lorenzo back in the lead. Last time round we saw Valentino Rossi on board footage, great shot, and Dovizioso taking the lead. Dovizioso's coming back again at the first corner.
Yeah, and it's the power of the Ducati that must worry the Yamahas. Look at Lorenzo, Mr. Smooth, back up the inside at turn 1.
Dovizioso just got in too hot into the first corner, left the door open for Jorge Lorenzo. He needed no second invitation. Lorenzo back in the lead. The Spaniard chasing a 34th MotoGP win. The two Repsol Hondas there, just at the back of the shot. Marquez has lost another 2,000ths of a second. As we say, he's not really making any progress to try and join this quartet fighting for the win.
7.5 laps to go. What an opener to the 2015 MotoGP season. Lorenzo leads the way. Dovizioso, Rossi and Iannone. That is the gap between Iannone and Marquez. And Marc Marquez, at least he's going to pick up some points and some decent points. There he went to last place after problems on the very first bend, the very first defence of his title. Who's going to come out on top in this one? I'm not sure, but if I had to put money on it, I'm going to put it on Dovizioso.
Lorenzo looking strong. Anybody's guess? It's Yamaha, Ducati. Yamaha, Ducati. Fantastic four-way fight for the victory. Lorenzo, 4,000ths of a second at the moment, clear of Dovizioso. Marc Marquez is steadily pulling away from Danny Pedrosa in fifth. Pedrosa almost half a second back of his teammate now. Are we going to see 8 laps to go? A late charge from Marc Marquez. Can he get himself back into contention? It's a big ask.
Lorenzo leads the way when they cross the line. There will be 7 laps to go of this Losail International Circuit. Here comes the Ducati. Here is Marc Marquez. He is cutting the gap down. I just don't think time is on his side. But a great ride by Marquez as he tips it into turn 1. But at the front, Lorenzo now under big pressure from Dovizioso. Rossi waiting to pounce. Iannone has not made a move yet, but he's very capable of hanging in there with the 3 best MotoGP riders, perhaps with the exception of Marc Marquez, in the world.
Yeah, Iannone showing no signs of being dropped off this leading bunch at all as we ride with Jorge Lorenzo. Great onboard shot, Dovizioso as we come into slow turn 6. Dovizioso second, Rossi and Iannone right behind him.
Which Rossi desperate to get past Dovizioso. He's going to have a nibble now, Valentino Rossi. He's lining up. Is he close enough? Here we go. This is Lorenzo. We ride with Dovizioso. Be aware there may be another Yamaha coming into view any moment now. Up the inside or round the outside. Second gear for Lorenzo. Third gear. Fourth gear. Fifth. And then into this succession of 3 right-handers. Third gear there, quick right-handers these.
Well, as Dylan pointed out earlier on in the commentary, Valentino Rossi, the only one of this top 4 that's got the hard option front tyre on. Is that going to be a crucial decision as we enter these final 7 laps? Because we're at the stage of the race now where that tyre should really be coming into its own.
Into turn 16. There will be 6 laps to go when they cross the line. It is a long run to the line, as you will see. We ride with the GP15 Ducati pole setter, Andrea Dovisioso. The man in front of him is Jorge Lorenzo. Rossi can't quite get close enough. Dovizioso thought about it, but Lorenzo is absolutely magic into turn 1.
Well, we said how Iannone was hanging on to the top 4. He's lost a bit of ground as the Italian. 1.1 seconds he is now off of Jorge Lorenzo. Marc Marquez in the top speed standings, 218 miles an hour from the Repsol Honda.
Carl Crutchlow has moved up to the 7th place. Johnny Hernandez 8th and Bradley Smith in 9th.
Johnny Hernandez keeping some really good company there in that battle for 7th place. Factory bikes all around him, of course. Hernandez having big moments now on the front as Bradley Smith tries to make the Colombian move, lose another place. He's got his teammate Paul Espargaro for company. Smith now trying to make sure that Crutchlow doesn't make a breakaway in 7th.
Well, Yoni Hernandez has been a very, very difficult man to overtake through this race. That's a great performance by Cal Crutchlow, never getting crashed out in qualifying. And by crashing out, had to start from 12th place, as you were at the front, Lorenzo Dovisioso. And they are, I think, just beginning to drop Iannone. Could he come under pressure, Iannone, from Marquez?
Rossi at turn 12, he had a good look up the inside of Dovizioso, couldn't make the pass stick. Iannone does look like he's struggling to match the pace of this top three. Iannone now, what, a second away from Lorenzo, as Rossi now really trying to get through on Dovizioso. Thought Dovizioso there was going to have a look up the inside of Jorge Lorenzo.
Yeah, Rossi's first real go at Dovizioso, it didn't work out. Just got a glimpse there of Marquez at the top of the picture, still running in 4th place. Rossi once again trying to line up Dovizioso, but he's not going to take him here. Dovizioso in turn may well take the lead, racing down towards turn 1. 5 laps ago, an incredible opener to the season. Dovizioso does take the lead. Lorenzo second, Rossi third, Iannone in 4th place.
Another big mistake on the brakes though at turn 1 from Andrea Dovisioso. He took the lead on that long drag to the first corner from Jorge Lorenzo, but ran wide in turn 1, and Lorenzo moves back into first place. Rossi couldn't capitalise. Rossi still in third.
Little puff of smoke there. I think it was Rossi that back wheel just caught the edge of the track, but he's still in there in 3rd place. Let's have a look here at Dovizioso. Yeah, he was in front, but yep, runs it wide. You don't need a second invitation for Rossi to go through. Certainly you don't for Lorenzo to go through. But Dovizioso has fought back. He's got past back in front of Valentino Rossi. It's Lorenzo that still leads the way with 4.5 laps to go.
Andrea Iannone desperately trying to cling on to this battle for his first podium in MotoGP. Lorenzo Dovizioso Rossi. Rossi having a look, was he up the inside? No, they're so close now, Lorenzo Dovizioso Rossi. What a fight for the win here.
Rossi absolutely on the limit, trying to get through on Dovizioso. Brandy Smith now has got through on Yoni Hernandez. All eyes though focus at the front of this incredible race. Lorenzo crashed out on the very first lap last year. Dovizioso in pole, giving that GP15 pole position to Ducati, and Valentino Rossi chasing his 4th MotoGP win as he starts his 20th Grand Prix season. His 4th MotoGP win at the Losail International Circuit. Into turn 16 they come. We ride with Valentino Rossi. That is Dovizioso and Lorenzo in front of him.
Dovizioso definitely close enough to use the slipstream to blitz past Jorge Lorenzo on the start-finish straight. Look, Dovizioso moves out and passes Lorenzo to take the lead. Is he going to make it stick this time? We've seen him run on a couple of times. He runs it a little bit wide, but no, he pulls it back. And now Dovizioso will have the line into turn 2. Dovizioso in the lead, 4 laps to go. Gigi Dall'Igna looks on, apprehensive, nervous. Is the bike that he created, what, only 35 days ago, Andrea Dovizioso first rode that bike. It's leading the opening Grand Prix of the season. Rossi underneath Lorenzo at turn 4. Rossi now on the charge. He doesn't want Lorenzo Dovizioso to get away. It's an all-Italian fight now at the front.
Rossi at last gets into 2nd place. Most of the time he's been fighting against Dovizioso for 2nd place, but now he's got past Lorenzo, and you're right, he does not want him to get away. We ride with Marc Marquez. The gap around 2.5 seconds between him and Iannone. He'd do well to pick up a 5th place after being knocked back to the very last place. Rossi is not letting the Ducati escape. Rossi ready to pounce. 2nd here last year, 2nd here the year before. He wants to win the race. It's his 20th season of Grand Prix racing. He's right on the rear wheel of the Ducati that he used to ride. Not this one, but for the factory team. And Valentino Rossi leads the way.
Dovizioso though fights back straight away. Dovizioso retakes the lead. Rossi cuts it back. Can't take the inside line. Rossi and Dovizioso exchanging the lead on lap 19.
Down towards turn 15 they come. We are smiling here. We just cannot believe how good this race is.
Has that hard option front rear tyre choice though of Valentino Rossi going to prove to be an absolute masterstroke from the Italian. They come down the start-finish straight to finish. 3 laps to go.
3 to go. The Ducati from pole position leads the way. Rossi probably will close up on the braking. Iannone has got past Lorenzo up into third place. So Rossi can have a double-pronged attack from Ducati. And it's Ducati that leads. Here is Marquez. He is flying now in a fifth place. And it does appear he's closing. Can he close it up? He's not going to get up with these men at the front. Just under 3 laps to go. They're up at turn 4. Ducati versus Yamaha. Italy versus Italy.
Lorenzo about to get a pit board and Marquez is closing. But here's the battle at the front. Dovizioso and Valentino Rossi. The brand new GP15 Ducati leads the way from Valentino Rossi, as we said, chasing an 83rd MotoGP victory. What a way it would be for Rossi. His bid for a 10th World Championship. Here we see Andrea Iannone taking third place off Jorge Lorenzo. Is Lorenzo's victory challenge over?
Dovizioso leads away. Rossi up the inside once again. Rossi retakes the lead. For how long? Not half a second. Dovizioso back in front. It was Rossi and Marquez this year. It's Rossi and Dovizioso this time, and he squeezes through.
Rossi through on Dovizioso at turn 12. Is Rossi trying to get to the front and make a little bit of a break? He knows that if he's behind Andrea Dovizioso coming out of the final corner on the last lap, he hasn't got the speed out of that Yamaha to slipstream by Dovizioso. Rossi needs 3 or 4 bike lengths coming out of the final corner on the last lap to fend off that more powerful Ducati. Dovizioso all over the back wheel of Rossi. Is Rossi going to kick off the 2015 MotoGP World Championship in style with a victory?
On the start finish straight, look at the power of the Ducati. Eases his way past Valentino Rossi. Back in front, 2 laps to go. Rossi lines up the inside. Dovizioso runs it wide and Rossi's back in front.
Well, there you go, Nick. Rossi got a wake-up call that he knows that Dovizioso, if he's right in his slipstream on the last lap, Dovizioso has got the speed to out-drag him to line. Rossi again up the inside. Brave move through turn 4. Brilliant from the Italian. 2 laps to go. Rossi from Dovizioso. This has been an epic battle reminiscent of the fight last year between Rossi and Marquez. This time it's Dovizioso.
Down at turn 6, slowest bend on the circuit. Rossi holds the advantage, but Dovizioso, no, he has got that run out of turn 16. You know, and he's still fighting off Jorge Lorenzo. You just got a glimpse there of Marc Marquez. He's not going to catch them. Who's going to win this one? Rossi leads the way. Can he eke open a little bit of an advantage over Dovizioso? That's what he's got to try and do. He has got his head down. He starts his 20th season of Grand Prix racing. He's 36 years old. He's not riding with a pair of slippers there, I can assure you.
This is Valentino Rossi's 313th Grand Prix appearance, as fast, as hungry and motivated as ever. And he's eking away crucial bike lengths here from Andrea Dovizioso. 2 laps to go. Rossi knows that he's got to be leading onto the start-finish straight by 5 or 6 bike lengths. The power of that Ducati will outgun him to the straight. Rossi has been a master tactician in the past. He knows exactly what he's got to do. Now let's see if Andrea Dovizioso drags him to the line. This is going to set up a dramatic finale. They come across the start-finish straight to start the final lap.
Now, is this a dress rehearsal? If Rossi has this advantage, can Dovizioso catch him? There's a very simple answer to that question. Yes, he can. So Rossi's got to try and open up some sort of advantage. We're into the last lap of an amazing opening round of the championship.
Rossi and Dovizioso going at it hammer and tongs. Rossi runs it a little bit wide through turn 2, pulls it back. Dovizioso, he's not giving up at all. Rossi still in the lead.
Up towards turn 4, Rossi leads the way. The right-hander at the top end of the circuit. Dovizioso right behind him. He knows if he can stay this close, he could bring victory to the GP15 Ducati.
Coming up to the twisty sections of this Losail International Circuit. This is where the Yamaha normally works incredibly well. Rossi knows he's got to open up a gap. The anxious Ducati management look on. Claudio De Medicali, the Ducati boss, on the right.
Rossi still holds the advantage. Dovizioso, though, has him in his sights. This is where the Yamaha performs. Can he open up the advantage? The 9 times world champion, 36 years old, fighting off the challenge of Dovizioso. 1 MotoGP victory to his credit.
Rossi 10th to 2nd last year. Is he going to go one better in 2015? It's all going to come down to this last 4 or 5 corners. Rossi accelerates through turn 12. He's got a little bit of a gap now on Dovisioso. Dovisioso though comes back. It's going to go right down to the wire, this first race.
They race down through the final one of the right-handers, down towards turn 15. The final left-hander. Is the gap big enough? Can Rossi just open up the advantage? Turn 16, the final bend approaches.
Here we go, Rossi now peeling into the right-hander through turn 16. Has he done enough? Valentino Rossi now powers that Yamaha to the straight. Dovisioso trying to get in the slipstream.
Here we go, the run to the line. Has Rossi done it? Here comes the Ducati. Valentino Rossi wins here in Qatar.
Valentino Rossi, an 83rd Premier Class victory, the 109th of his career. Andrea Dovisioso could not have done anything more, but Valentino Rossi, the old warhorse, there he was again. What a brilliant last lap. Dovisioso, best lap of his race on the final lap, but it wasn't enough to deny Valentino Rossi. Rossi, Dovisioso, Iannone on the podium. What a race. Rossi triumphant.
Wow, that's the only thing you can say. So, Marquez 5, Pedrosa 6, Crutchlow 7, Smith 8, Paul Espargaro 9, Johnny Hernandez 10, Aleix Espargaro with Suzuki 11, Petrucci 12, Scott Redding 13, Maverick Vinales 14, and 15th place, the final point scorer, Hector Barbera. This is about one man. Everything else has been about Ducati, it's been about Marc Marquez, it's gone. The headlines will be Valentino Rossi.
Vintage Valentino Rossi there. What a performance from the 36-year-old. Incredible stuff. That medium hard front tyre, crucial in the outcome of that race, definitely, Nick.
Take a breath. 20th season Grand Prix race. His 313th Grand Prix appearance. No pipe and slippers for Valentino Rossi. That was as tough a win as you would see. Well done, Ducati. Well done, Andrea Dovisioso. I thought he was going to win it. Rossi had different idea.
Marc Marquez kicks off the defence of his World Championship with 5th. That was a rousing fight back from the Spaniard, of course. We saw him run off at the very first corner of the race, almost running to the back of that man right behind him now on the slowing down lap, Bradley Smith. Jorge Lorenzo, he'll be bitterly disappointed. He made the running for much of the race, but missed out on the podium. In all the jubilant scenes for Valentino Rossi, Andrea Iannone, he took his first Premier Class rostrum. A great ride from Maniac Joe, great winning from the number 29, but it's all about one man.
But what a debut for the GP15 at Ducati, 2nd and 3rd, absolutely brilliant. But
Andrea
as he often does, he will steal the headlines, won't he, completely.
Dovizioso could not have done anything more in that race. He tried to lead it, he put pressure on Lorenzo, he put pressure on Rossi, but you have to say, Valentino Rossi, when the pressure was on, he delivered a masterful final lap. There he is, punching the air in delight, quite rightly so. As we said, 330.
Terrific. Yamaha and Ducati exchanging pleasantries before they come in.
And Yamaha, Nick, all weekend have looked dead and buried, haven't
Done. Absolutely out of it. Here he comes. 36 years old. His 313th Grand Prix appearance. Ducati, 2nd and 3rd. But on the top step of the podium, listen to the reception. The doctor is getting here in Qatar.
What a way for Yamaha to kick off its 60th anniversary celebrations. Never made a better start. Valentino Rossi revving that YZR M1 motor as he comes in to Parc Ferme. He still celebrates every victory like it was the first one, and it was a classic Rossi performance, fighting his way through from way down the field. He was 10th on the first lap, but there he is, Valentino Rossi, 36 years of age, and still able to win
The face. Mark
Not
Marquez.
happy at all.
No, not happy at all.
When Marc Marquez watches this race back on video, he would have loved to have been in that fight for the victory. Andrea Dovisioso, as we say, he did his absolute best to deny Rossi a fantastic day before the new GP15. That's going to be a force to be reckoned with as we move into the season. 2 Ducatis on the podium with Valentino Rossi. So
lasted the pace, didn't it? Both of them lasted the pace well. It was only the brilliance of probably the greatest motorcycle racer we've ever seen that actually prevented them having a debut victory. Well, we both watched many, many victories of Valentino Rossi. I don't think I've seen many better than that. You?
108 career victories before tonight, Nick, and I tend to agree. His 109th is right up there with the very, very best. It was breathtaking action from the 2 Italians. An all-Italian podium, of course. Rossi, Dovizioso and Iannone. Lorenzo missing out after a valiant fight. He did his best to stay in there for as long as possible. Andrea Dovizioso takes a deep intake of breath, and quite rightly, because he put up a tremendous fight. Lynn Jarvis and all the Yamaha management congratulating Valentino Rossi. He rolled back the years once again, didn't he? Victorious last year in Mazzano and Phillip Island. We keep wondering every year, can he come back to deliver another championship challenge? Well, there's your answer.
Write him off at your peril. That's what you do. And what a start to the season. And where will it go from there? Well, you know Marc Marquez is going to fight back. Ducati have proved they're right in there. But Rossi has done it again.
Well, Andrea, that was some amazing race there, and at the end you really had to push, but a podium on your first Ducati ride.
Yes, it's my first podium in MotoGP. It's incredible. I'm really emotional. But I want to thank a lot the Ducati guys, because this winter the work is incredible and the bike improved a lot. I'm really, really happy.
Cool. Thank you very much, Andrea.
He's happy, he's tired, and he's taken his first ever podium in MotoGP. Doesn't get a lot better than that. I think he deserves a treat. I think they're saying, can you come and do the interview? He says, hang on a minute, I've got to take my gumshoe out. So here is Andrea Dovizioso. He's still celebrating with the Ducati team. I don't think you can blame him. He's coming, Dylan. Here he comes. So Andrea Dovizioso, GP15 from pole, second place for the Italian and the Italian
Although first you had to fight with Jorge Lorenzo, then you had Valentino Rossi. I think one of the best races ever. You must be tired.
Yes, he's really happy to come back and fight for the victory. And in the last few laps, so in the last lap, I pushed really hard, over 100% in the last lap. I made a really good lap time, but I didn't have any more grip on the edge, and it was impossible to try to attack Valentino. He was really strong in the braking, but in the first part of the acceleration, he was better. And anyway, second position the first race is really good. Thank you to the team, really.
Thank you very much, Dobby.
Yeah, pretty honest assessment, and it's the first race for the bike. Where is that going to end up? Valentino Rossi, we can't believe it. 313th Grand Prix appearance, and he wins here in Qatar.
Well, Valentino, you won the first race of 2015. A difficult start, but then I think one of the best ever fights in your career.
Yeah, you know, I said this a lot of times, but for me this is one of the best, because after the bad start I recovered a lot. We did a very great job during the practice, and my bike was fantastic. And step by step I arrived there. I tried to don't give up. The bike moved everywhere, but after with the 2 Ducatis and with the Jorge was difficult, but in some places I was very strong, very good in the line, and I'm so happy for me, for my team, for Yamaha, for all the guys that are with me. Ciao.
Thanks, Valentino.
I suppose you're 36-year-old, you deserve to be a bit puffed after a race like that, don't you, Matt?
A breathless and faultless performance from the 9-times world champion. He loved that one, didn't he? As he said, one of the best of his career, and who can argue with that? It was a terrific performance, celebrating with some of his mechanics that have been through the journey right from when he first joined the Premier Class back in 2000. There's been some magic moments in those 15 years, but not many that will beat this one tonight in Qatar. Majestic performance by the 9 times world champion. 17 more of those, please, gentlemen.
Final result. Valentino Rossi wins his 109th Grand Prix. What a victory from Rossi, 36 years old. What a debut by the GP15 Ducati. Dovizioso second, Iannone third. Jorge Lorenzo in 4th place. Marc Marquez, after being very last after the first corner, 5th. Pedrosa 6th. In 7th place, Cal Crutchlow. 8th, Bradley Smith. 9th, Paul Espargaro. And 10th, Yoni Hernandez. A little bit further down, Aleix Espargaro on the Suzuki debut, 11th. 12th, Danilo Petrucci. Scott Redding, 13th. Maverick Vinales, 14th. And Hector Barbera, 15th place.
Carol Abraham and Jack Miller, they both crashed out on the final lap, Nick. So the Czech rider and the Australian rookie not finishing what was an absolute classic 22-lap race. We saw a great battle last year between Rossi and Marquez. This year, it was between Rossi and Dovizioso, the 2 Italians.
Wow, there he is. He leads the World Championship. It's the first time since Germany 2013 that Marc Marquez hasn't led MotoGP World Championship. Don't worry, he'll be right in their face when we get to Austin in 2 weeks' time. So I think he's won there the last 2 years, isn't he?
I think I'm right in saying as well, Nick, that's the first time that Valentino Rossi would have led the World Championship since he won this race here 5 years ago, back in 2010. Wow. He gets better with age. He's like a good old bottle of wine, isn't he, Valentino?
Yeah. Yeah, somebody uncorked the wine today, though, didn't he? Yeah, interesting to say. He said, "I talk about my best ever race as a spectator. I don't think I've nearly seen him ride any better than that ever. I thought it was phenomenal."
We're going to say every year that we see Valentino Rossi that he isn't riding in the form of his life. He's performed again tonight. Silvano Galbacera is that crew chief, of course, who took over the difficult job of replacing Jerry Burgess at the beginning of last season. Valentino said it was a difficult decision, one of the toughest of his career, but he felt like he needed new motivation, and boy, did it work. 2 wins last year, and he's kicked off 2015 with a phenomenal victory, an all-Italian podium to kick off 2015. Andrea Iannone, Andrea Dovisioso, Valentino Rossi.
So here are the 2 Ducati riders. So it's, of course, the new crew chief also there. People keep saying, what is going to happen to MotoGP when Valentino Rossi disappears? He's got absolutely no intention of disappearing.
He's going nowhere. He signed a new 2-year contract last year. Andrea Iannone soaking up the moment. He won't forget this, his first MotoGP podium. But listen to the roar for Valentino Rossi, still the most popular rider in the championship, no doubt about that. Rossi jumps on the top step of the podium for the 83rd time in his MotoGP career.
What a start. What a great achievement for the crew chief who's been with him now just for 1 year.
Well, Galbacera said he felt under pressure last year, but when Valentino said we can win a 10th world title, the pressure just got ramped up. And the pressure was on, you have to say, 8th on the grid they started. Nobody really gave Yamaha a sniff before the race. It was all about Ducati and Honda. Well, Ducati were there, but Valentino Rossi denied them a famous victory. The long wait goes on for Ducati. But Andrea Iannone will take pride of place when he gets home in Italy, his first podium. Gigi Dall'Igna, quite rightly, big round of applause for Iannone and Andrea Dovizioso too.
Here is Andrea Dovizioso, 2nd place for the Italian. He started the race from pole position. The GP15 Ducati, 3rd and 2nd. But even the might of Ducati could not defeat Valentino Rossi this time round. There's some big battles that lie ahead. You've got to throw Marc Marquez into that occasion, but listen to this. He's 36 years old. He's starting his 20th season of Grand Prix racing. This was his 313th Grand Prix. Valentino Rossi wins here in Qatar.
Listen to...
Italy 1, Italy 2, Italy 3. Valentino Rossi 1, Dovizioso 2, Iannone 3. What an evening here. We have seen 3 incredible races, 3 so different races. What a start to 2015. Get buying those tickets for Austin, Texas in 2 weeks' time, and then, of course, Rio Tervis Honda in Argentina in 3 weeks' time. Rossi is on the charge. Ducati are after him. Mark has had a bad night, but he will be back big time. He has won for the last 2 times at Austin, which is the next round of the championship. Listen to the crowd. What a night we've had here in Qatar. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as us. So say next round, Austin, Texas. It's a fair old trip. Most of us go back to Europe first. Circuit of the Americas. Marc Marquez has won there for the last 2 years. Valentino Rossi arrives to prevent him taking the hat-trick. We look forward to seeing you in Texas in 2 weeks' time. Just about still got my voice. That's as good a start to a MotoGP season I think we have ever seen. Moto3, so many riders could have won. Absolute drama in Moto2, bad luck story, crashes, and then MotoGP. Another fairy tale victory for the Doctor, 36 years old. He starts his 20th season of Grand Prix racing, and that's what he did. Dovizioso and him swapping positions. Rossi knew that he had to have the advantage going into the last corner. Rossi knew on this very last lap that it was do or die, and Rossi, as you can see, just held the advantage when it mattered. But what a battle it turned out to be. Valentino Rossi wins here in Qatar, his 109th Grand Prix win. What a performance also by the GP15 Ducati, the new bike. Second and third between Dovizioso and Andrea Iannone. But the night belongs to Valentino Rossi once again.